The one with the cop has easily one of the best friends moments in it. This is the 16th episode of the 5th season, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I talk about the various aspects of the narrative and share some thoughts. And I guess I'll address the bit that I love the most last. Actually, I'll save that until the end, save the best till last. But the episode as a whole is really good. The title refers to the fact that Phoebe finds a police badge when she's rummaging under the seat in Central Park to find coins. I cannot even imagine putting my hands under the cushion of a seat in a public area. Phoebe is much braver than I am. She finds a couple of coins, and then she finds the police badge, and she knows she has to turn it in, but then she sees a woman putting out a cigarette on a tree, and she decides to use the badge to make the woman apologise to the tree. And I have to say, she gave a pretty convincing job of pretending to be a cop. And then a little while later, this badge is still in her possession. The power has clearly gone to Phoebe's head, and she pulls the badge out on somebody else, and it turns out that somebody is a cop. This is Gary, played by McLean Rapaport, and he comes to arrest Phoebe, which is pretty dramatic, and Phoebe is over at Monica and Rachel's apartment, and Gary decides actually he won't arrest her today, but he will ask her out on a date, which I think is, I've seen the episode many times, but I feel like it's probably an unpredictable progression of the narrative. Although that being said, when they were having their initial encounter, there did seem to be something in the air. Maybe I'm reading too much into it because I've seen the episode, but certainly I think it's a fun way to develop the part of the narrative. I'm not sure it's the most moral thing for Gary to have done, but I think he also probably realised that Phoebe meant no harm, and despite the fact that he already knows that she has quite a track record when it comes to police involvement, he asked her out, and it was quite sweet. So more on that as things develop. Monica and Chandler, in the opening scene actually, are doing a crossword together. It's absolutely adorable. And then at night, Joey dreams that he is doing the crossword with Monica. And Matt LeBlanc's expression when he wakes up from the dream, he's smiling to begin with, and then he bolts upright and his eyes are huge as he realises what the dream was about. Absolutely incredible facial expression. And he tells Monica and Chandler eventually, after initially avoiding Monica, and they suggest that maybe he just wants the closeness with somebody. And maybe if they were friends first, that would help things out. And then he thinks, well, who am I friends with? And he sees Rachel, and he decides to try and, well, I was going to say get it on with Rachel, but I guess that's not what he's trying to do. He's trying to start a romantic relationship, but of course Rachel is not necessarily interested in that. And she gives him some advice about just going and finding a friend. Rather than finding a friend to be in a relationship with them, find a friend to have a friend and see what develops. And Joey does this, and he ended up sleeping with that person. And I feel like it's a nice little self-contained narrative. We don't drag it on for too long. I think it got the attention that it needed. And it's nice to have a shift to Joey. I don't think we've had much of a Joey story in quite a while. We focused a lot on Ross and Rachel, then Ross and Emily, and then Monica and Chandler, and of course Phoebe with the babies. Joey hasn't had too much focus in a while. But of course that's not forever. And it was a nice little Joey story. We then have my favourite part. And I will say, I absolutely love it in the episode, but the blooper is significantly better. If you haven't seen the blooper for the pivot scene, check it out. It is just, it doesn't matter what mood I'm in. It makes me laugh. It is so funny. Ross is buying a couch, and the delivery charge is almost as much as the couch itself. So he decides he's going to just take it home himself with Rachel's help. And they do this, and it seems like it's going fine, but then they try and get it up the stairs. It's not working. So Rachel goes to get reinforcements. She gets Chandler, and they try and get it up the stairs, and Ross yells pivot multiple times over. And I'm sure, like many, many Friends fans, I can't hear the word pivot without hearing this scene in my head, occasionally without saying pivot myself out loud a la Ross, because, well, it's very addictive and I absolutely love it. it ends with Ross trying to saw the couch in half, then trying to return it, and ultimately getting a $4 store credit. So, not the best ending for Ross's couch journey, but absolutely one of the greatest scenes just ever. I absolutely love it. But as I said, the pivot blooper is just, tears are in my eyes when I watch that. It is so, so funny. Definitely check it out. It kind of ruined the episode a tiny bit because it's more funny than the episode, but nevertheless, the pivot scene is fantastic and one of the greatest things ever. And as an episode as a whole, the one with the cop is really good. Always going to be an episode I enjoy. All things considered, it's pretty fantastic.